The free bird thinks of another breeze. Now the picture changes, image changes. Quickly the poetess shifts to the image of the free bird. That means the image of the white man in America. So once again, we might be able to find a contrast because now we are shifting from the cage bird to the free bird once again. So we are waiting to see the contrast. The free bird thinks of another breeze. So can you remember the free actions, the free movements of the free bird which we met in the first stanza? Can you remember? It leaps on the back of the wind. It floats downstream till the current ends. It dips his wings in the orange sun rays and finally fearlessly claimed that the sky is his own. So those were the movements, those were the actions, those were the words of the free bird. And now, without stopping there, without being satisfied with what he already enjoys, he now goes on to say, he now says he now wants to enjoy another breeze. Not only the wind he enjoys, he says that he wants to enjoy the breeze even. What is a breeze? Breeze is a soft wind. So he is not content with the massive winds. He enjoys the massive winds, massive storms even. He wants to enjoy the breezes as well. That's the way of human beings, isn't that so? Aren't they like that? Even us, we always try to go for higher things. So it's very difficult for the humans to be satisfied, to be contented. That's actually a human nature. So that human nature is seen in these white men as well. So they says we want to enjoy the breeze even, not only the massive winds. And the trade winds soft through the sign trees. And he's kind of trading with winds, kind of an interaction with the wind, giving and taking, interaction with the wind, with the soft through the sign trees. So even the trees are sign means susum helanawa, sign trees. So even the trees are sign because they feel sad. Sad for whom? Sad for the unprivileged lot. Who are the unprivileged lot? The blacks. So even the trees are feeling the unfairness of this interaction, of this trade. How unfair this interaction is. Whites enjoying the massive privileges of the country while nothing is given to the blacks. So the sad trees even finds this unfair. This game is being played in a very unfair manner. And the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn. So look at that third line. And the fat worms are waiting. Worms panu. Fat worms are waiting on a dawn-bright lawn. Early in the morning, the brightened lawn, that means the ground, the brightened ground, on the brightened ground with the morning sunshine. Fat worms are waiting. Why? To be eaten. By whom? By the bird. Which bird? Free bird or the cage bird? Of course, by the free bird. Why? The cage bird cannot come out of its cage early in the morning. So the fat worms are waiting to be eaten by the free birds. Fat worms here represents heavy privileges, massive privileges. So all the massive privileges are being grabbed by the white folk, while the black folk were there inside their restricted, limited areas of the country. So, and he names the sky his own. Repetition of the same idea. In the first stanza, the poetess says, dares to claim the sky, without any fear claim the sky his own. And the repetition of the same idea, he names the sky his own. He says, this country is mine. I don't want you to take anything out of it. Everything belongs to me. That's what the free bird says. That's what the whites say. Right. Next stanza. Once again with that contradictory but a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. So while the whites are enjoying all the privileges, the caged bird, the blacks are standing on the grave of dreams. So they are standing on their own graves. What do you mean by that? That means you don't have anything else but death as a certainty in their life. So if there's one and only thing which is certain for their lives, what is that? That is only death. So they can only be sure of death. Nothing else they can be sure of because they don't get anything. They just go on living till they meet their death. So this death is symbolically represented as the death of dreams. Death of dreams means they don't have any hopes. They had so many dreams, they had so many expectations, they had so many hopes, but there had not been any ways and means to make their dreams realize. All their dead dreams are buried in the ground now, and they don't have any other place but to stand on the grave of their dreams. That's quite pathetic, isn't that so? So his shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. They don't have sweet dreams, they don't get sweet dreams, they get only nightmares. Even the shadow of the black man is frightened by those nightmares. Not only the black man, even the shadows of the black man. So this shadow is the word shadow invites us to think a little bit deeper. This shadow sometimes might be the followers of the racial movements, as one interpretation I can forward. And as another interpretation, we can assume that the shadow implies the next generations, the following generation, the generations to come, the generations of the black people to come. So it might be, I think it's better, the second interpretation is better, then you can actually kind of enjoy this attitude of the poetess in a more free manner, because even the generations to come would be affected by this plight inside the country, by this racial discrimination inside the country. Even the next generations will have nightmares. They will also they will also not have beautiful dreams, sweet dreams. They won't be satisfied. They won't be able to be contented. They will constantly be disturbed by nightmares. So that is a kind of a foreshadowing the poetess is making. So once again the poetess repeats here the same idea. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. So we move on to the final stanza now. Now did you notice something, children? The final stanza is actually the third stanza you find in the poem. So we go to it. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The entire stanza is a repetition of the third stanza. So do you wonder why it is so? Yes, there's a reason for that. The poetess has a very big reason to repeat the same thing. This is actually the song of Maya Angelou, the song of the black Americans who had been segregated throughout the history. This is the song, as the title suggests, the song of the caged bird. So in any song we get a chorus. Chorus is actually the most highlighted part of a song, the most significant part of the song, because it has the gist of the song. It carries the entire message of the song. So here if we can call this a song, this is the chorus of the song being repeated. So this chorus carries the message of Maya Angelou, the dark and daunting feelings of the black Americans during the throughout the entire period of history that they had been discriminated. So the poetess says the cage bird's cage is made up of discrimination and racism. Though she sings, she feels that her voice goes unheard. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill. We know why the fear is there, because the cage bird had never experienced the freedom. Though he had not experienced the freedom, the cage bird is yearning for it, as we have discussed earlier. And the tune, though she fears the tune has gone unheard, she actually is happy to find out that the voice of the African people, the black African people, had reached the distant hills also. That's why we are also, as Sri Lankans, in a distant country, a distant small island called Sri Lanka, we are also talking about this poem. We are also talking about segregation of black Americans. So the voice had gone heard by the other countries, by the whole world. So the poetess is almost jubilant here, extremely happy here. So the cage bird sings of the freedom. The cage bird sings of freedom, which he had never experienced, but is yearning, expecting, having a lot of expectations. So there, the poetess ends the song, or actually the poem. The poetess ends it, but the story does not end here. We have to discuss further. We have to discuss the techniques she has employed here, the different types of techniques, and how effective these techniques have become in conveying her meaning, in conveying her idea, in conveying her struggle of freedom to the entire world. And we have to talk of the different themes that she employs here, and how applicable this poem is to the whole world and to the recent times also. The universal value we have to still discuss. So we'll meet in our next lesson to discuss them more. Today we have just finished with the meaning of the poem. Thank you.